My name's Mike. I run a small garage business out of my garage. I do a lot of different work, and what I'm going to talk today about is changing your oil. It's very good to change your oil every 3,000 to 4,000 miles unless you use a high synthetic oil, which you can get up to about 7,000 to 10,000. I normally use the normal conventional oil that uses every 3,000 to 4,000 miles. And the first thing what you want to do is when you get your car into the shop, you want to chalk the back wheels so in case you jack it up, it doesn't roll anywhere. So once you get the back wheels chalked, you get your jack set up underneath the car. Hopefully you can get it right on the middle to jack up both wheels at the same time. This will save you time. Otherwise, if not, then you'll have to jack up one side and then put a jack stand under it and go to the other side. So once you get your car jacked up, you do want to put two jack stands underneath it. You never ever want to get underneath a car with just the jack holding the car. Accidents happen that way. So once those are on the jack stands, you are now ready to change your oil and oil filter. What I would suggest is changing the oil filter first. So you have a nice drain pan that catches the oil, and what you'll do is you'll unscrew the filter. Sometimes it's a big filter, sometimes it's a small filter, so you have to have several different adapters that will adapt to your filter. There's also a filter where it's a paper filter inside instead of a hard metal one. In those cases, you do the same thing as far as unscrewing the filter and replacing it. Always check when you take your filter off that the O-ring came with it, because if you put your new filter on with two O-rings, you will have an oil leak and you'll leak out all the oil and eventually you'll burn up the motor. Okay, so now we got the oil filter taken off. We checked for only no oil rings on there, so now we put the new one on there. Put a little bit of oil on that filter, on that rubber gasket part, so it makes a nice good seal. When you install these filters, you only tighten it by hand, no tighter. Once our filter is on, now we're going to move to the drain plug. You slide your pan over to the drain plug, you unscrew the plug. Be very careful, because if the car's hot, you may burn your fingers. So once you get the plug undone, take it out and let the oil drain. You let this sit there like that until you just see drip, drip, drip. That's about as much as you want to drain. You don't want to still pouring out. Once you've got it to where it's just dripping, now we can reinstall the oil plug. After that, what you're going to do is then fill it up with 5 quarts, and then you're done.